the Active Travel Adventures podcast. I'm your host, Kit Parks, and happy 2022. It's been a tradition for the last few years that I start the year off with the 25 best travel podcasts that you should be checking out for the coming year. And so with that, let's get started. I've put together a wide variety of travel-based shows for you to check out. Some are destination-based, some are travel story interview shows, some include travel insider scoops and give you some tips, and some are travel insight-based shows. You're sure to find some new shows you can binge on. So here in alphabetical order are my pick of the 25 best travel podcasts to check out for 2022. And like I said, it's alphabetical, and so how can I not start with my own active travel adventures? If you want to hike, bike, and/or paddle the world as a way to explore new cultures and landscapes, this is your show. If you are reasonably fit and are willing to train, you can do the multi-day adventure travels featured on this podcast. Each episode features an amazing adventure you can do on your vacation, such as climbing Machu Picchu, hiking all or part of the El Camino de Santiago, paddling the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon, or cycling Cambodia's Angkor Wat. I'm going to have links to all the shows that I mentioned on the website at activetraveladventures.com. Number 2 on the list is Alice in Wonderland. You can join adventurer Alice Morrison as she regales you with tales of travel and customs throughout Africa and the Middle East, especially from her home base of the beautiful Atlas Mountains of Morocco. She and producer Vic Phillipson help give you an insider's look at life in this exotic region. At number 3, Amateur Traveler. Chris Christensen hosts this long-running travel podcast. Each week since 2005, Chris interviews a guest about itinerary ideas for specific destinations. You'll learn what to see and do, where to eat, where to stay, and with almost 800 episodes, you are sure to find detailed information about any destination on your travel list. P.S. I'll put a link to my own interview with Chris about the Crystal Coast of North Carolina, where I used to live. So at number 3, Amateur Traveler. Coming up at number 4 is Armchair Explorer. If you love wonderful storytelling, this is your show. Beautifully produced, each show features amazing adventurers who tell their stories from the road. You will hear about exciting and challenging adventures, allowing you to live vicariously through the guests. Unlike a lot of us podcasters, you can tell host Aaron Miller has a professional writing and production background. So at number 4, it's Armchair Explorer. Coming up at number 5 is my friend Karthika Gupta and her Culturally Ours. Karthika hosts a thoughtful travel podcast that examines the art, culture, lifestyle, and food of destinations around the world. You might learn about the colorful Holi festival in her native India, or the practice of Japanese forest bathing. Each season brings new and interesting aspects of travel that teach us that despite our differences and how we manifest our traditions, deep down, we are all the same. So number 5 is Culturally Ours. For a bit of humor, check out number 6, Extra Pack of Peanuts. Each week since 2013, hosts Travis and Heather explore all things travel. Sometimes they interview guests who come on the show to share amazing adventures. Other times, they share helpful travel tips. Commonly, they might showcase the best of certain enjoyment of a given destination, such as the best breweries in a certain town. Their engaging personalities will make you come back again for more of the Extra Pack of Peanuts, coming in at number 6. If you want to learn a little bit more about travel industry insights, check out number 7, Eye on Travel with Peter Greenberg. Legendary CBS travel news journalist Peter Greenberg hosts this weekly travel show where he interviews high-profile industry guests about a specific timely topic or destination. This is my favorite go-to podcast for travel news, particularly during this crazy time. A fantastic resource to get the inside scoop on all things travel. So at number 7, Eye on Travel with Peter Greenberg. Number 8, you know Frommers from the guidebooks. Now get their inside take into travel on their podcast. Join host Pauline Frommer and an assortment of travel pros as they discuss travel trends, insights, and all things travel. So at number 8 is Frommers. At number 9 is Jump with Traveling Jackie. Join Traveling Jackie as she explores travel, adventure, and lifestyle with solo shows along with guest interviews. Feel like you're eavesdropping on engaging conversations that will encourage you to get out there and go on an adventure. I was so inspired that I signed up to go on one of her adventure travel trips that she hosts. So at number 9 is Jump with Traveling Jackie. Again, I'll have links in the show notes. At number 10, Let's Go Together. A show produced by Travel and Leisure, the Let's Go Together podcast features diverse voices sharing their unique travel experiences and inspiring others to explore the world. So at number 10, Let's Go Together by Travel and Leisure. Coming in at number 11, Speaking of Travel. Host Marilyn Ball interviews guests about their intriguing and enriching travel stories. You'll learn about different customs, foods, and destinations, and come away anxious to go on your next big adventure. So at number 11, Speaking of Travel. At 12, the Big Travel Podcast. Host Lisa Francesca Nand interviews fascinating guests who reveal their most interesting travel stories, and the guests weave in other tales that made them who they are today. At number 12, the Big Travel Podcast. We're halfway through. At number 13, the Overland Journal Podcast. This one's a little bit different. If you prefer traveling via four-wheel drive or adventure cycling, this is your show. You'll learn about all sorts of fun adventures from the hosts Scott Brady and Matthew Scott. You'll hear not just about cool destinations, but also travel and gear tips from folks who have overlanded all 7 continents. So at number 13, the Overland Journal Podcast. A favorite of mine at number 14 is the Thoughtful Travel Podcast. Each week, Aussie host Amanda Kendall interviews 2 or 3 fellow travelers regarding a specific topic. They'll share stories about meeting locals, slow travel, tackling foreign languages, getting lost, and what we can learn from traveling, etc. So at number 14, the Thoughtful Travel Podcast. Number 15, the Travel Diaries. Get the backstory from fascinating guests as host Holly Rubenstein interviews them about their most memorable travel experiences. Guests include Jane Goodall, Simon Reeve, Jackie Guilford, and more on the UK's most popular travel podcast. At number 15, the Travel Diaries. At number 16, the Trip That Changed Me. Great interviews of folks whose lives have literally been transformed by travel. Perhaps it inspired them to start a new business or have a change of perspective. Maybe they found a new love or discovered their life's purpose. The personal tales demonstrate the power of travel and how it can transform your life. At number 16, the Trip That Changed Me. At number 17, Travel Tales by Afar. Looking for travel inspiration, great storytelling about the transformative power of travel, in addition to cool travel destinations? Then this is your podcast. Each episode features someone who sets off on a journey and returns home transformed. At number 17, Travel Tales by Afar. A lighthearted number 18 is Travel Tales. Comedian Mike Siegel interviews travelers, often entertainers like himself, about the ups and downs of travel. You'll feel like you're eavesdropping in on a private conversation as guests share their compelling, often humorous stories about their life on the road. That's Travel Tales by comedian Mike Siegel at number 18. Number 19, Travel with Meaning. Each episode of this interview-based show focuses on a usually high-profile guest and their travel stories and how travel became such an important part of their lives. At number 19, Travel with Meaning. Popular Rick Steves hosts our number 20, Travel with Rick Steves. The leader of all things European, this longtime radio show host shares his popular radio program as a podcast. With over 400 episodes, you're sure to find the answers to any of your European questions about destinations, customs, tips, and more. At number 20, it's Travel with Rick Steves. Another favorite, at 21, is Unfolding Maps. Unfolding Maps offers compelling stories about amazing travelers and their journeys to the furthest reaches of the planet. You will come away enthralled, inspired, and blown away. At number 21, Unfolding Maps. We're getting near the end. At number 22, Wonder Woman. Join host Phoebe Smith as she tackles a new travel adventure each month in a magazine-style format. In addition to her travel tales and insights, Phoebe also shares travel tips, hacks, and gear recommendations. That's Wonder Woman at number 22. Number 23 is We Travel There. Host Lee Huffman chats with locals about a particular destination so you get the inside scoop on what to see, do, eat, and drink from the locals' point of view. We Travel There at number 23. At number 24, the World Nomads Travel Podcasts. Join host Phil Sylvester and Kim Napier as they discuss all things travel and check in with intrepid travelers from around the world. You'll learn about destinations and customs, get helpful travel tips, and gain insights into travel today. At number 24, World Nomads Travel Podcast. And last, but certainly not least on the list, is one of my favorite podcasts, Zero to Travel. In fact, it's a podcast that has inspired my current journey of traveling full-time. When I listened to some of host Jason's guests about how they were doing, I was like, well, they can do it. I can do it. And sure enough, the power of listening to other people do these kinds of things gives you the feeling that you can do it. In fact, I hear from your emails that I get from you that, because of your podcast, Kit, I did my first solo trip, or because of your podcast, I'm now going to travel without a schedule. So my hope for presenting these 25 podcasts each year is that you too will get the encouragement, the inspiration to get out there and get outside your comfort zone. I always like to talk on the show about plus oneing. I think that the joy of travel, the joy in life, as a matter of fact, come from pushing yourself just a little bit outside your comfort zone so that you keep stretching yourself and growing instead of staying stagnant in the same old ruts of life. I find it fun to push myself, and I hope that my show does that. And I believe that travel in general does that. Of course, I'm going to have the entire list of these shows that I presented today with links to their websites at activetraveladventures.com. Monthly newsletter subscribers will also get access to the list in the next mailing. And note, when I say monthly newsletter, I only email once a month. I don't spam or sell your name to anybody. All I do is I send you a note early each month that includes whatever free travel planning downloads I prepared from the past month. In addition, my subscribers also get access to all the previous super helpful travel planners that I produced. So if you're not on my email list, be sure to get on it today. There's a link in the show notes, or you can go directly to the website and sign up there, or just email me directly at kit@activetraveladventures.com. I hope from today's show you've learned about some new podcasts that you can check out in the next year. Have I missed one of your favorites? Send me an email. Let me know so I can check it out and hopefully include it on next year's list. I would love to hear what travel podcasts have influenced where you've gone. Please let me know. You can always reach me at kit@activetraveladventures.com. I hope you have a happy, healthy, prosperous 2022. I hope you have planned some kick-ass travel plans. If you have not yet figured out where you want to go in the next year, I encourage you to go to the website, activetraveladventures.com, and play around with the search bar. I really have spent a lot of time trying to make an easy-to-navigate website to help you find trips you didn't even know you were interested in going on. So, like I said, you can check it out by destination, you can check it out by activity, you can check it out by time of the year. I've also tagged each of the shows by month, by budget, by whether they're good for solo, couples, travel, family, friends. So I've tried to make it as easy as possible to find out about destinations you may not even know that you wanted to go on until you did a little digging deeper. And of course, for each of them, there is a podcast that you can listen to or read the show notes on to understand more about what the adventure is. As always, I appreciate you listening. Until next time, this is Kit Parks. Adventure on.